Good morning, class. God bless you all. Stay home, stay safe. Class, we all know about the importance of nature. We read about this in our previous classes that how important is nature for all of us. Yes or no? Yes, now? Okay, so let's start our new chapter. Chapter 7 Nature and Us. We depend on nature for many things: air, water, soil, plants, animals, metals, coal, and so on are all gifts of nature. Even the raw materials for man made things such as plastic and glass come from nature. In this chapter, we will talk about how nature maintains a balance, the ways in which we upset this balance, and what we can do to protect nature. Alright, so in this chapter, we are going to read first environmental balance, and second how we upset or spoil this balance, and third one is what can we do to protect our nature. Okay, first topic is environmental balance. All the natural things around us make up our environment. Nature tries to maintain a perfect balance between all these things. This means it tries to maintain the proper amount of these things. This means our nature. Our nature tries to maintain the proper amount of these things. Let us look at a few examples to understand this. First is living beings use oxygen from the air and give out carbon dioxide. We all know this. Plants use carbon dioxide and make oxygen. These and other processes help to balance the amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the air. Class, we all know that humans and animals release carbon dioxide, and green plants use this carbon dioxide to prepare their food, and green plants release oxygen. Okay, our next point is nature keeps a check over the numbers of plants and animals. For example, in a forest, carnivores means flesh eating animals check the number of herbivores. Herbivores means plant eating animals. If they did not, the herbivores would eat up all the plants and the forest would vanish. This shows the food chain. A food chain shows how the organisms are related with each other by the food they eat. Now, next point is plants take minerals from the soil. Nature has countless workers that return these minerals by recycling waste. These workers include bacteria, fungi, and earthworms. They feed on waste such as dead plants and animals. They refers to bacteria, fungi, earthworm. Okay, and in the process they break it down and return minerals to the soil. This is also a kind of chain that plants grows in a soil, get water and minerals from it through their roots, and at last when plants die the minerals go back to the soil. Now next point is water is continuously moving from the oceans to the air as water vapor and from the air to the earth as rain, snow, etc. This continuous movement of water from the earth's surface to the atmosphere and back is called the water cycle. We all read about water cycle in our previous classes. Okay? It renews our fresh water supplies like rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. It also renews groundwater since a part of rainwater seeps under the ground to form this store of water. Okay, by all of these points, we are able to understand that nature tries to maintain a perfect balance. Alright, now our next topic is spoiling the balance. There are many things we do to spoil the balance in nature. Class, did you know the more we preserve existing forests and growing up others, the more our life on earth will continue. And if we break this balance, life will be threatened. Okay, so come to the chapter. Deforestation. We cut down the trees in forests for wood and to make room for our crop field. Room means space for our crops. Alright? Space for our crops, industries, roads, towns, and villages. Deforestation or the clearing of forest is harmful in many ways. First is it increases the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. Okay. If carbon dioxide increases in the air, then air temperatures go up and more water vapor evaporates into the atmosphere. What does it mean? It means that Earth's temperature will increase. Okay. Now, our second point is it leads to the loss of wildlife. It also drives wild animals into villages and towns in search of food. This is why leopards attack cattle in our towns and villages nowadays. Now, next point is it harms the soil as the roots of trees protect the soil from being blown or washed away. Actually, deforestation causes soil erosion because the roots of trees hold soil tightly and prevent the soil from erosion. If we cut trees, the roots leave the soil and so that the soil easily blown and washed away. Okay. Now next is it causes rainfall because trees help to make clouds by giving out water vapor. Next is it causes floods as rainwater rushes down slopes when there are no trees to check the flow. Now, killing animals in large numbers. We kill animals for food and sport and for their skin, tusk, fur and so on. This was wiped out many animals. When an animal is no longer found in an area, the balance in nature gets disturbed and this may harm others. For example, if deer vanish from our forest, tigers may start killing our cattle for food. And if we kill all the lions in a grassland in Africa, herbivores such as the zebra and the gnu may eat up all the grass and turn the area into a desert. Alright. Now next heading is pollution. To pollute something means to make it dirty. Many of the things we do lead to the pollution of air, land and water. There are many kinds of pollution, but in this chapter we are going to read air pollution, land pollution and water pollution. So first is air pollution. Smoke given out by vehicles, factories and wood fires increases the amount of carbon dioxide and other harmful gases in the air. Smoke also has soot. Soot means tiny unburnt pieces. Alright. Soot is a black powder that comes from burning things. Okay. All these things pollute the air and cause different diseases. They also harm other living beings, especially plants. When the leaves of plants get coated with soot, they cannot make food. When the carbon dioxide in the air becomes higher than normal, it cannot be balanced by the usual natural process. Some scientists believe that this can increase the temperature of our planet and lead to changes in climate. This is known as global warming. We already read that if the level of carbon dioxide increases in the air, then temperature will increase and this resulting global warming. Some bad effects of global warming are melting glaciers, early snow melt, rising sea level will lead to coastal flood, increasing the risk of wildfires and shortage of water and so on. So, we should take steps to reduce pollution. Now, our next pollution is soil pollution. Soil gets polluted by the garbage and factory wastes we dump on it. The part of garbage that comes from plants and animals like cooked food, farm waste, etc. is broken down by nature's cleaners. Nature's cleaners means like bacteria, fungi, etc. The other part of it like metals, plastic, glass, etc. remains unchanged. Some metals such as lead and mercury and chemicals such as paints, and pesticides are the most harmful. Now, what are pesticides? Here is it. Pesticides are things we use mostly to kill insects and other organisms that harm crops. These harmful chemicals not only pollute the soil but also get washed off into rivers and lakes. They seep through the soil and pollute groundwater too. See, this is how our soil gets polluted. Now, third pollution is water pollution. All the dirty water from homes, offices, schools, hospitals, factories, and so on flows into rivers, lakes, or the sea. Among the harmful things it carries are chemicals and disease causing organisms. People throw garbage and bath farm animals in water bodies, polluting them even more. All this makes the water unfit for our use. Besides, the chemicals harm plants and animals that live in water. They also reach us through the fish and other aquatic creatures we eat. Now, next topic is what can we do? What can we do to protect nature and make sure that future generations do not run short of natural resources? Now, how can we protect and manage these natural resources? First is forest and wildlife. India and many other countries have set up wildlife parks to protect forests and wild animals. No one is allowed to hunt or trap animals or cut down trees in these areas. Besides, there is a general ban on hunting, trapping, or trading in some endangered animals. For example, tigers, lions, chinkaras, dolphins, and certain types of birds. We could all try to protect forests by not polluting them. We could also stop using things made of the horns, fur, skin, feathers, etc. of wild animals and report people who sell wild animals and birds. Now next is reduce pollution, means how we reduce the pollution. Some steps to reduce pollution can only be taken by the government. Others can be taken by all of us. Listen, we cannot blame everything on the government. There are some steps that we have to take ourselves. First point, municipality and industries should clean wastewater before allowing it to flow into water bodies. Water bodies like rivers, lakes, etc. If we stop throwing garbage into drains, we would reduce the work that municipalities have to do. Only we have to remember that we always have to put garbage in the garbage bin or dustbin, not here and there and everywhere. Okay? Second point is we could separate garbage into the kinds that rot, means vegetables, peel, cooked food, etc., and the kind that can be recycled. Recycling means the glass, plastics, metals. We could make compost out of the first kind and give the second kind to kabadiwalas who sell it for recycling. This would not only reduce pollution but also save resources. Alright, we should separate wet and dry waste. They should not be mixed and use less plastic, repair rather than replace. Compost as much as possible. Now, what is compost? A compost is a mixture of dead plants, old food, etc., that is added to soil to help plants grow. It is a natural plant fertilizer. Okay, that increases the land's or soil's fertility. Now, next point is people who have their offices, schools, etc. in the same locality should form a carpool to travel to and fro using one car instead of separate cars, like sharing your vehicles. Okay, forming carpools reduces pollution and saves fuel. So do walking or cycling to places that are close by and using electric or hybrid cars. Next point is a big part of the electricity we use is made by burning fuel. If we stop wasting electricity, we would reduce pollution and save resources. We could switch off lights and fans when not in use. We could also use LED lights because they need less electricity. Next point is instead of burning fuel, we could use non polluting or clean sources of energy. For example, we could use solar energy, the sun's energy, Solar cookers, solar water heaters, and solar cells are used to cook, heat water, and make electricity respectively. It means solar cookers for cooking, solar water heaters for heat water, and solar cells for electricity. Okay, wind and flowing water are other clean sources of energy used to make electricity. Okay, class, listen. On page number 34, forest and wildlife, we have one word, endangered animals. Endangered animals means some animals are in danger, like disappearing from the world. Okay, so our seventh chapter is over, and if you have any doubt, please message me. I will clear it. Okay, and please read the chapter and try to fill the book work. Then I will send it to you. Till then, bye. Take care.